guys, and welcome to my second episode of Formation Tactics, and today's episode is going to be about the 3-4-3 formation that I've played with and won the league title in the my Division 1 series. And a lot of you guys have been actually wondering about the formation because it looks sort of weird. Well, as you can see, it is a bit weird on here as well. Basically I just play 3 at the back and 4 in midfield and 3 up front. But it's not just as simple as that, and I'll go through it with you in every position, and I'll sort of tell you why I put the players the way they are. I mean, that's my opinion of how my formation should be like. Maybe you guys have different opinions, but I'm just going to let it show you. I'm just, sharing this formation with you anyway. And so yeah, let's start. Starting with the defense. As you can see, it's not flat like your usual back threes. Samuel is playing a little bit like a sweeper, but I didn't set him as a sweeper because then he'll be too deep. Because when you play a three at the back formation, you sort of expect the defense to be well, in real life in general, most managers, when they play 3 at the back, the back line usually plays quite deep. But not in this case, because this is a game, and the way I see it, I need to basically push my defense forward as much as possible and sort of try to intercept the ball before the actual gameplay happens for the guy that I'm playing against. Well, this is my style of play anyway, so you guys might, like I said, might see it differently. So yeah, you got Samuel there playing like a semi-sweeper. And then you got Lucio. Some of you might think, why don't you put Lucio playing in the centre and Samuel on the left, because he's left-wide? Because Samuel's not that fast and he's better reading the game than Lucio. And Lucio is fast, so he can play right back. And Cordoba is not that great defensively, but his pace and his how do you say this, aggressiveness, and he's not that big either, but he sort of mixed up with his other attributes. So I especially like Cordoba to play there. When you play the game, when you play with Inter Milan by default, he doesn't even make the bench, but I think it's really good. But anyway, then we got Cambiaso. Cambiaso's got the, as you can see now, he's got the tactician's card. This is very important for any centre defensive midfielder you got, guys. You need to play him there. If any of my defenders didn't have that card, I would actually play Cambiaso centre back, the middle as well. That's how important this card is in this game. Well, to me anyway. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but as you can tell, Samuel and Lucio have this. Cordoba doesn't, but it doesn't matter because, like I said, his other attributes make up for it. And then you got the Javier Zanetti. Zanetti is like a free roamer. He can pretty much be anywhere in the pitch. That's why I'll show you in a bit when it comes to his arrows and his work rate and whatnot. He's sort of like, I didn't assign him anything. I put him almost like when you put a playmaker behind 2 strikers, we play that diamond. You're not meant to set him arrows, because then he feel like in the game he'll just feel like he needs to just do that task every time. But if you don't put any arrows and just leave him as he is, he'll just play as a playmaker. He'll slot into every hole there is to try to get the ball. So I just leave Zanetti the way he is. Macon is basically a right wing back, but I didn't put him as right wing back because then he'll do more defending than attacking. So I put him right midfield, but really deep, as deep as possible. I think I did. And then you got Snyder. Snyder, a lot of you might expect for me to put Snyder behind the strikers, right where Forlan is. But I put him there because it's sort of, if you can tell, my formation is all about triangles. Look. Every player, most of the players create triangles between each guy. Sorry, what am I talking about? I mean, it's all about triangles, if you can tell. Not all of them, but the majority of the positions on the pitch, these guys create triangles, and I like to pass the ball on the ground, so that's why I say it that way. I mean, for example, actually, let's move on to Forlan. Now, these 3 is for me the key of this whole formation. Especially Forlan, he sets up everything. He's the main man. And why I put Forlan as centre forward, and I dropped him really deep. He's almost playing as a attacking midfielder. But because I put him centre forward and I put him in the middle, these 2 benefit from that. Zarate and Pazzini. and I put Pazzini's striker almost on the right wing, and that's because Forlan's playing in the centre. And I put him there, sorry, is because he's almost playing as a right winger, but he's not. He's playing as a centre attacking striker, sorry. So when Forlan gets the ball, he makes runs like through the centre, but because sometimes Forlan gets the ball, the other two centre backs could get confused. Do I mark Forlan or do I mark Pazzini? And I'll show you in one game that I played maybe in a minute on the side of the screen. Hopefully it will just fit perfectly by the timing. And that one time Forlan got the ball and Vidic got confused. He went to mark Pazzini, so he left Ferdinand on his own, and then Ferdinand just absolutely just got done, left him behind, and I just easily scored with my left foot, with Forlan's left foot. So this is, and then you got Zarate playing on the left wing. Now Zarate's position where I put him is when Forlan gets the ball, anybody else like Snyder or Cambiasso or Zanetti on the counter attack, he's always ready. He's always ready for for that quick dink over the defense ball. So he basically starts most of my counter attacks, or shall I say, he makes them really effective. And also Pazzini does, to be fair. But what Forlan does is drops quite deep, and then the two centre backs, so one of them follows him, and then you got the right back who's got to mark sorry, what do you call him? He's got to mark Pazzini, and then it's a bit well, he marks Pazzini, and then it's a big hole in the middle. When then Snyder comes in, give it ball back to Snyder, Forlan makes that run, and the whole defense gets confused, and that's why I made this formation like this. And to be honest, to be fair, when you lose the ball, if you are a person, well, you know your gameplay, and if you think that you lose the ball quite a lot, and you don't really like to 1-2 passing and holding the ball, this formation is not for you, because this back three is really open. Trust me, it's really open, especially when you play against guys that got the Cristiano Ronaldos, the Messis and whatnot, and you have to be really good at intercepting the ball and knowing how to read the game. So I personally think I'm quite good at that, so that's why I can gamble with this formation. But if you guys don't feel like you are you don't have that type of style, this formation is not for you. I'm just putting it out there because some guys are curious, and well, this is the formation I play with, and I'm just sharing it with you guys, just show you some love basically. And like I said, this formation is all about, so let me show you the arrows and the work rate and whatnot. And maybe I'll show you, no actually, yeah, I'll just show you that for a minute, just one minute. So here you got the work rate, which looks like this. As you can see, Forlan's and yeah, I made if you can see what's he called again? Zarate's high attack rate, not that high, so that he becomes sort of offside sometimes, like when you're doing the counter attack. So he sort of needs to it's sort of balanced out. And then you got Snyder. I don't want him to cover too much because obviously Cambiasso's right behind him, so he can do that job. And then you got Zanetti, and you got Zanetti not going up too much because I want to obviously want him to sit a bit more. Well, he sort of balances it out basically. Forlan, don't want him to come that deep because he's deep as it is. Pazzini, I don't want him to come deep at all because he's the main striker up front. Although it doesn't seem like that because Forlan is playing in the middle. And if I made Forlan centre attacking mid, by the way, like it would have been this whole the whole front three wouldn't have worked out. It's because I actually simply just changed him to centre forward. This is why it's working out perfect, because like I said, the way the game is being engineered for the especially the new defensive how do I say this? How FIFA made this the new defensive style, or what you want to call it, this defensive mechanism or whatever, is basically done for so that they help the player to sort of mark other players. If the player's got the cursor on one player, the other players that are controlled by AI, automatically mark the other players that are, a sort of danger towards the goal. So this is why I made this formation, to confuse the system and sort of, say F you in a way. So yeah, and then you got the arrows here. also looks a bit crazy. Like I said, I didn't need to do nothing with the defense because they all got quite good attributes. So sort of, like I said, the defending mechanism sort of makes him read the game better. And then you got Macon going up and down. You got Pazzini. Like I said, I put an arrow towards the goal, so he cuts through the middle. And then you got Snyder. I sort of want him to go a bit, you know, stay where he is basically, but also go, when we're defending, I want him to go more to the left wing so that, you know, he's an outlet. So as soon as he gets the ball, he can counter attack with Zarate. And then you got Cambiasso. When we're defending, I want him to go back to the left back position, sort of, you know, because not a lot of team, to be fair, not a lot of team attack from the right. They all attack from the left. So that's why I've sort of, you know, you got the guys who use Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano plays on the left wing because they like for him to cut inside and just finesse it. So therefore, I've got Lucio, Samuel, Macon, and Xavier Zanetti on that side. But on the left side, it's really, to be fair, it's really open. So that's why Snyder sort of gets tired like around 85th minute of the match or 80th minute. It's because he's been tracking if the guy is using right wingers. Like I said, this formation not for you if you can't hold the ball more than your opposition. So be careful, guys. And then yeah, so you got Zarate, who when we're defending, I want him to go more to the wing. And when we're attacking, I want him to cut in. So like I said, as soon as we get the ball, he cuts in and he makes that lovely run to just be open on goal. And basically, he stands between the right opposition centre back and the right back. So he confuses. It's all confusing for the game's defensive system. So this is why I made this formation, guys. I'll show you my tactics, the tactics that I use with this. Just bear with me 1 minute. I choose the Arsenal 3. So speed is 80, passing is 31, position is organized, and you got passing 49, 60, 80, organized again 80, aggression 67. And these guys can actually, you know, you might think the aggression is quite high, but these guys can, you know, put up with it. Why? Because like I said it in episode 2 of my Division 1 series, is these guys got high stamina, they got high defensive rate, they got high attacking. It's like, it's really balanced out. The whole team is like, for me, this team is the best team in the game. You know, when you talk about all the players together. But if you talk about who has the best players, well, let's just say they've got the best squad in the game. But when you talk about who has the best players, then that's a different story. But, you know, squad-wise, these guys are just like perfect for me. Because you can have Manchester City and you can have Barcelona or Real Madrid, but you know, it's no good when you sort of like you get players that get tired quick, or because most of their players are like players with skills, and you know, players with skills on this game usually get tired quick. Not all of them, but the majority of them. Like for instance, Di Maria for Real Madrid is probably the only player that's got a high attacking rate and a high defensive rate. So like I said, this is why this team is just balanced out, and they work perfect with this formation. And can I just say also that the way I made this formation was I was inspired by watching Barcelona, I think, versus Real Sociedad or whatever they called. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, aggression is quite high because these guys can deal with it. Team with, I didn't want it to be that much because my team is wide as it is. Some of the players I mean on the pitch are wide as it is, so I left it as 52%. And defensive line is cover. So yeah, guys, this is pretty much it. If you missed my last episode of my first tactics, I'll put that on the video and you can check that out. That one is quite long. I don't know how long I've been running. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Be sure to subscribe, like it, share it, and let me know what you think. Take care.